Hi, welcome to Drift Stories. I am the voice that accompanies you to sleep tonight. Tonight, we are going to an ancient capital with 3,000 years of history, Beijing. We will follow a central axis that has not changed in 600 years, from Zhengyang all the way to the twilight of Jingshan. Now, close your eyes. Let your breath slowly sink. The train is slowing down. The rhythm of wheels rolling over rails goes from dense to sparse. The carriage sways gently and stops. You pick up your luggage, step down onto the platform. Early morning at Beijing station. The air is cool, carrying the mingled scent of coal smoke and moisture, like a pot of freshly brewed jasmine tea, releasing its warmth into cold air. The station square spreads out beneath a wash of gray-blue morning light. The clock tower stands at the far end of the square, its hands pointing to 6:03. This clock tower has stood here for over 60 years, watching hundreds of millions of people walk into Beijing from this spot. The square's paving stones have been polished bright by countless feet, the morning mist floating low above the ground. The outline of the distant gate tower is faintly visible. You are standing at the southernmost point of the central axis. 600 years ago, it was from here that the ancients began measuring northward, inch by inch, drawing out this 7.8-kilometer spine of the capital. Now you are on this line too. Take a deep breath. The city has not yet fully awakened. In the distance, there is the sound of pigeons beating their wings. Beijing's pigeon keepers tie bamboo whistles to the birds' tail feathers, and when the pigeons take flight, the whistles hum softly, like the city clearing its throat in the early morning. You step out of the station, walking north. Qianmen Street is still suspended between sleep and waking. The bluestone pavement has been dampened by last night's water truck, reflecting the remaining glow of the street lamps. Lining both sides of the street are old establishments of gray brick and gray tile. Kwangjude, Duyichu, Dolby Photography Studio, their signs made of wood, the lacquer mottled, the lettering still legible. The iron grilles of the shops have not yet been rolled up, the display windows dark inside, only a single yellow bulb burning alone in some corner. You hear the sound of a bicycle bell in the distance, ring, 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 drifting out from deep within an alley, then fading into another alley. The archery tower of Zhengyang stands at the end of the street. Its gray city bricks stacked layer upon layer, each one still holding the warmth of the kiln fires from 600 years ago. The arrow slits in the tower are dark, like a row of silent eyes, watching the people who have come and gone along this street. You walk very slowly. The bluestone beneath your feet rises in a gentle curve, shaped by the tread of countless feet over hundreds of years. The air carries the sweetness of soy milk and the toasty fragrance of fried dough sticks. A breakfast stall at the mouth of a hutong has just been set up. Steam rising from the bamboo steamers, scattering into a soft cloud of mist in the morning light. You pass an old locust tree, its trunk so thick that two people could not wrap their arms around it, its branches and leaves shading half the sky above the street. You pause for a moment beneath the tree. The shade is cool, carrying the dampness of dew, the flecks of light that slip through the gaps in the leaves, quivering gently on the bluestone, like a small cluster of fireflies just waking up. Passing through Zhengyang, you suddenly find yourself standing in the largest city square in the world. Tiananmen Square, 440,000 square meters of open space, making your breath deepen all at once. The granite paving stones beneath your feet stretch one after another into the distance, so far that the horizon seems to curve ever so slightly. The morning light spreads from the east, pale cyan at first, then white, and finally turning golden upon the water. On the flagpole at the square center, the red flag slowly unfurls in the wind, then slowly furls again, like a person breathing evenly in sleep. You stand in the middle of the square, turning in a circle. To the south is Zhengyang, the place you just walked through. To the north is the Tiananmen Gate, its vermilion walls and golden yellow glazed tiles glowing quietly in the morning light. To the west is the Great Hall of the People. To the east, the National Museum, 2 rows of pillars holding up a quiet symmetry. The square is so vast that you feel your own footsteps swallowed by the space. Yet within this vastness, you feel safe instead, like a small boat resting on a boundless, tranquil water. There are very few people around, only a few elderly morning exercisers practicing Tai Chi not far away. Their movements are very, very slow, arms pushing through the air, then drawing back. Watching them, you feel your own breathing slow to match. This is what a Beijing morning is like. It does not hurry you. The entire square holds you in quiet stillness. Like an enormous palm, its center warm. You walk to the foot of the Tiananmen Gate. 5 white marble bridges span a ribbon of emerald green water. This is the Golden Water River, called a river, but in truth, it is a man-made moat, drawing water from Jade Spring Mountain to the west, flowing around the Forbidden City, then out to the east. The water is a quiet blue-green, so deep you cannot see the bottom. The 5 stone bridges stand side by side, the middle one the widest. It was the imperial bridge, for the emperor alone. The railings are carved with coiling dragons and auspicious clouds, the white marble glowing with a warm, gentle luster in the morning light, like frozen moonlight. You walk slowly across one of the side bridges. Looking down, the river reflects the vermilion walls and golden yellow glazed tiles, trembling softly in the ripples, like a painting submerged beneath the water. A single parasol leaf drifts on the surface, its edges already browned by autumn, tracing very, very slow circles on the water. Crossing the bridge, you stand beneath the archway of Tiananmen. The gateway is deep, and the light dims all at once, the air turning cool, carrying the scent of stone and old wood. Above your head are the gate studs, 9 across, 9 down, 81 in total, each one the size of a bowl, the places where the gold lacquer has peeled, revealing the rusted iron beneath. You reach out and touch one. The stone is cool, but it seems to still hold the noon sunlight from centuries ago. You pass through the gateway, and the light brightens again. You are now standing in the Meridian Gate Square. From this moment on, the Forbidden City opens before you, layer after layer. Passing through Tiananmen, then through the upright gate, you stand before an enormous square. The Meridian Gate is behind you, the gate of supreme harmony directly ahead. This is a space enclosed by high walls, 200 meters wide from east to west, 300 meters long from north to south, the ground paved entirely with blue-gray city bricks. There is not a single tree in this square. Why no trees? Because 600 years ago, the emperor feared assassins hiding in the shadows of trees. So there is only stone here, only sky, only the empty space between you and that golden palace in the distance. You walk across the square. Your footsteps echo softly on the stone slabs. 1, 2, 3. Like the rhythm of water drops falling into a pool. 5 white marble bridges appear again. These are the inner golden water bridges, identical in style to the outer ones, just one size smaller. You cross the bridge and ascend the 3-tiered white marble terrace, each tier as tall as a person. The stone steps worn smooth and glossy. The gate of supreme harmony stands before you now. The vermilion doors are wide open, the gate studs gleaming faintly in the shadows. You step across the threshold, and then you see it, a floor of golden bricks. The square before the Hall of Supreme Harmony is paved with over 20,000 golden bricks, not made of gold, but fine square bricks fired in Suzhou, which ring with a metallic timbre when struck and have the luster of inky jade. In this afternoon hour, the sun slants across these bricks, each one like a dark mirror reflecting a soft light. The entire square resembles a sheet of dark shallow water, and the golden hall of supreme harmony floats upon its surface. You stand before the Hall of Supreme Harmony. This is the largest surviving wooden hall in China. 26 meters high, 11 bays wide, 5 bays deep, 72 pillars of golden thread enamel wood support the entire hall, each one as thick as a person's embrace. Cut from the primeval forests of Yunnan, floated down the Yangtze and the Grand Canal for 3 full years before reaching Beijing. Did the wood know it would become the spine of a palace? You lift your gaze. Upon the 3-tiered white marble terrace, the Hall of Supreme Harmony rises like a mountain of gold. At each end of the roof ridge sits a Qingwen, a son of the dragon, bearing a fishtail, its mouth biting down on the ridge, set to suppress fire and ward off disaster. A row of roof beasts squats along the spine as well, led by the immortal riding a phoenix, followed by the dragon. Phoenix lion, seahorse, heavenly horse, Xieyu, Xieji, and Dunyu. 10 in all, more than any other hall in the palace. Because this is the highest ranking building under heaven. You step inside. The light dims suddenly, the air carrying the mingled scent of sandalwood and aged dust. Your eyes adjust for a moment, and you see at the very center, upon the Sumeru pedestal, rests the emperor's dragon throne, carved with gilded dragons. 13 golden dragons coiling across its backrest. Above the throne, on the ceiling, an enormous coiling dragon emerges from the caisson, holding a silver pearl in his mouth. The hall is very quiet, with only the sound of your breath. Yet, you can almost hear the sounds from 600 years ago. The courtiers' thunderous cries of "Long live the emperor," the drawn-out shrill voices of the eunuchs, the faint rustle of the dragon robe dragging across the golden brick floor. All these sounds have been absorbed by these golden thread namu pillars and golden brick floors, sinking into the grain of wood and stone, becoming the silence of this moment. Leaving the Hall of Supreme Harmony, you continue walking north. The buildings of the Forbidden City unfold in successive layers. The Hall of Supreme Harmony is the climax, and then it softens. The Hall of Central Harmony sits just behind it, a square hall with a single-eave gilded dome roof. It is small, so small, it seems like an exquisite pavilion. Before holding grand ceremonies in the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the emperor would come here first to rest and change into a different set of court robes. You imagine him sitting here, the square outside, filled with civil and military officials, the sound of ritual music drifting in from afar. But he needed these few minutes of quiet. The light inside the hall is gentle, the golden throne glowing faintly in the shadows. Further north stands the Hall of Preserving Harmony. This is the last of the 3 great halls, 9 bays wide, 5 bays deep, with a double-eave hip and gable roof. During the Qing dynasty, the palace examinations were held here. The brightest scholars from across the land, having journeyed 1,000 li from their hometowns to the capital, knelt in this hall and wrote out their lifelong ambitions on a narrow desk. Those examination papers were later stored away in the archives, the paper now yellowed with age, the ink strokes still looking fresh. You walk past the terrace of the Hall of Preserving Harmony and glance back, the roofs of the 3 halls receding from near to far, golden, 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 like 3 layers of gold foil stacked upon each other in the afternoon sun. This is the very center of imperial power, a declaration of authority written in wood and stone. But now, it simply stands quietly in the afternoon light. You arrive at the Gate of Heavenly Purity. This is the most important gate in the Forbidden City, not because it is the largest, but because it divides 2 worlds. Outside this gate is the state, the 3 great halls, the civil and military officials, the morning audiences and evening reports. Here, the emperor was the son of heaven, the supreme sovereign. Inside this gate is the home, the palace of heavenly purity, the hall of union, the palace of earthly tranquility, the 6 eastern and 6 western palaces. Here, the emperor was a husband, a father, a person who also suffered insomnia, also sighed, also draped a robe over his shoulders in the middle of the night, and rose to look at the moon. You step across the threshold of the Gate of Heavenly Purity. The moment you cross it, the feeling changes. The halls outside are grand, symmetrical, meant to be looked up at. The courtyards inside are winding, staggered, meant to be walked into. Creepers climb the vermilion palace walls. The blue stone pathways twist and turn between them. And before you know it, you have lost your bearings. In the courtyard of the Palace of Heavenly Purity, bronze cranes and bronze tortoises stand quietly on their stone pedestals, carrying incense burners on their backs. Inside the hall, the plaque reading, "Upright and Honorable," hangs above the dragon throne. It is the calligraphy of the Zhengyang Emperor, the 4 characters written with a solemn weight, like 4 stones pressing down upon the roof. You stand beneath the plaque, remembering that the emperor once stood in this same spot, looking up at these 4 characters. What was he thinking? No one knows. The Forbidden City holds too many secrets, like the dust that has accumulated in the gaps between these palace walls over 600 years. Leaving the Palace of Earthly Tranquility, you walk into the Imperial Garden. This is the northernmost point of the Forbidden City, and the softest place in the entire Imperial Palace. The garden is not large, but every inch of it has been meticulously designed. Rockeries made of teahouse stones. These stones were brought from Jingshan, scoured by currents at the bottom of Lake Tai for tens of millions of years, their bodies riddled with hollows and creases, slender, wrinkled, perforated, porous, like frozen smoke. You walk slowly along a cobblestone path, the ground beneath patterned with mosaics, cranes and pines for longevity, 5 bats surrounding the character for good fortune. Each picture pieced together one colored pebble at a time. 2 intertwined cypresses stand at the garden's heart. Their trunks have grown together in midair, becoming a single tree. It is said they have stood here for over 400 years. Having seen the last Ming emperor flee from this place, having seen 12 Qing emperors stroll through this garden, having seen the last emperor Pui ride his bicycle here, they still stand now, branches interlaced, sheltering the last of the afternoon light. You pause beneath the trees for a while. The sunlight falling through the gaps in the branches scatters across the ground in flecks of gold. The air carries the sweetness of osmanthus. Very faint, like honey diluted with water. On Duishu Hill, a small pavilion stands quietly. From here, the entire imperial garden lies at your feet. Rockeries, ancient trees, cobblestone paths, vermilion palace walls. Everything has changed over 600 years, and only the stones and trees in this garden remain as they were at the very beginning. You walk out through the Gate of Divine Might. This is the northern gate of the Forbidden City, and your exit after 4 hours of walking through the palace. The moment you step through the gateway, the light brightens, the space opens wide. You cannot help but look back. The afternoon sun has dipped to the west, casting its slanting light upon the northern wall of the Forbidden City. The moat lies quietly beneath the walls, its water a dark inky green, reflecting the shadows of the walls and the corner tower. The corner towers, one at each of the Forbidden City's 4 corners, 9 beams and 18 pillars, 72 ridges, the ultimate expression of mortise and tenon joinery, said to use 20,000 components without a single nail. It crouches there silently at the corner of the wall, its upturned eaves cutting an elegant arc against the sky, like an exquisite dream resting on the stone ramparts. The water is very still, only an occasional breeze drawing circles of ripples across its surface. The reflection of the corner tower trembles softly in the water, blurring, then slowly gathering itself back together. You look across the moat. On the other side is Jingshan, its Wanchun pavilion, reduced to a dark silhouette in the afternoon backlight. You suddenly realize that you have walked the entire length of the Forbidden City, from south to north, 961 meters, 600 years of history, compressed into these 900-odd meters. But now, you are standing outside the gate. On this side of the gate is another Beijing. The water of the moat flows slowly beneath your feet, unhurried, like the breathing of the city itself. Exiting the Gate of Divine Might, crossing a road, and you are at Jingshan. Jingshan is not a natural mountain. It was formed from the earth excavated to dig the moat, piled on top of the ruins of the Yuan Dynasty Palace, which is why it is also called Suppressing Mountain, meaning to press down the imperial aura of the previous dynasty. You climb slowly up the stone steps. The hill is not high, only 45 meters, but each step carries you a little further from the imperial city and lets you see a little more clearly. The cypress trees lining the path are very, very old, their bark cracked into scale-like plates, resembling the skin of an ancient dragon in the twilight. You reach the summit. Wangchun Pavilion stands before you, a square, triple-eave glazed tile pavilion, its roof yellow-glazed, its pillars green. This is the highest point on Beijing's central axis. You stand inside the pavilion and look south, and your breath stops for a beat. The entire Forbidden City spreads beneath your feet, from the Gate of Divine Might to the Meridian Gate, from the Hall of Supreme Harmony to Tiananmen. Layer upon layer of golden yellow glazed tile roofs unfurl quietly in the twilight, like a golden sea frozen in time. The setting sun slants across from the western hills behind you, warming the glazed tiles to a gentle gleam. The contours of the distant western hills are blue-gray, blending into the pale purple of the sky. Further still, you can see the modern Beijing skyline emerging faintly. The titanium dome of the National Center for the Performing Arts, the high-rises of China World Trade Center Phase 3. But now they have all receded into the background, and only this expanse of golden roofs lies before your eyes. You stand at the highest point of the central axis, watching 600 years of imperial city sink into twilight. A few returning birds lift off from the eaves of Wanchun Pavilion, their wings tracing quiet arcs through the air, then vanishing into the deepening sky. Descending from Jingshan, you walk west. 10 minutes later, you stand at the entrance of Beihai Park. Beihai, this is one of the oldest surviving imperial gardens in the world, a royal detached palace since the Liao dynasty, 800 years older than the Forbidden City itself. You walk in, and the water of Tai'e Lake greets you. The lake's surface is dark gray in the twilight, reflecting the last glimmer of light from the sky. Kugua Island floats at the water's center, its white dagoba reduced to a white silhouette in a backlight, like an enormous seashell resting on a green hill. The white dagoba is a Tibetan-style inverted bowl stupa, built in the Shunji reign of the Qing dynasty. Its white body narrow at the top and wide at the bottom. The 13 rings of the spire at its crown glinting faintly in the twilight. You walk slowly along the lake shore. The branches of the willows hang down to touch the water's surface, and when an occasional breeze passes, the tips of the willow fronds gently tap the water, drawing the tiniest ripples. There are ducks on the lake. Several mallards float side by side on the surface, drifting slowly, occasionally plunging their heads into the water, then raising them again. Their movement makes almost no sound, only the very, very soft murmur of water, like a person turning over in their sleep. You cross a stone bridge, a bridge built in the Yuan dynasty. The lotus patterns on its stone balustrades, worn shallow by the years, though your hand can still feel the rise and fall of those carvings. The water beneath the bridge has grown darker in the twilight, so dark you can no longer see your own reflection. You stand there, watching the last outline of the white dagoba dissolve into the night. Beijing is transitioning from day to night, the process so slow, that you think time itself has stopped. You leave Beihai, walking north. Passing through a few quiet hutongs, an expanse of open water suddenly appears before you. Shichahai is not a sea, but a chain of 3 connected lakes: Front Lake, Rear Lake, and West Lake. It is said that during the Yuan dynasty, the Mongols, having never seen the ocean, called this stretch of water Haizi, Little Sea. You stand on Yingding Bridge. This bridge is very small, Only 3 arches, its body of white marble, but it carries a beautiful name, Silver Ingot Viewing the Mountains. On a clear day, it is said, you can see all the way to the western hills from here. But now the sky has gone dark, and you cannot see the western hills. What you see instead are the lights in the water. The bars along the shore of Rear Lake are strung with warm yellow lanterns. The lamplight reflects on the water's surface, kneaded by the evening breeze into scattered gold. The ripples sway gently in the light, like countless golden fish swimming just beneath the surface. In the distance, someone is playing a guitar, the sound of the strings drifting across the water, becoming very distant and very soft, like something leaking out of a dream. The weeping willows along the shore sway gently in the night breeze, the shadows of their branches trembling on the water, overlapping with the lamplight. You lean against the bridge railing, listening to these sounds. The guitar, the distant murmur of conversation, the soft lapping of waves against the shore, the occasional ding-ding of a bicycle rolling over the cobblestone road. All these sounds mingle together, not as noise, but as a gentle, distant background hum, like sounds heard through a thick cotton quilt. You feel yourself slowly dissolving into this nightscape. The wind blows across the water toward you, carrying a faint, damp coolness, like a piece of silk dipped in cool water, brushing softly across your face. You walk from Shichahai into a hutong. The hutong's name is Nanglo Goxiang. By day, this place is packed with tourists, but now it is deep into the night. The crowds have scattered, the shops are closed, and only the street lamps remain, washing the gray brick walls in warm yellow. The hutong is very narrow, so narrow that if you stretched out your arms, you could almost touch both walls at once. Old vines climb the walls, their leaves a translucent emerald green under the lamplight. You walk very slowly, the flagstone path beneath your feet uneven, with sunken spots where a little water has pooled, reflecting the street lamp's glow. The gate of a Sihoan courtyard stands half open. You glance inside. There is a pomegranate tree in the courtyard, hung with a few green pomegranates that gleam faint silver in the moonlight. Laundry hangs beneath the eaves, swaying gently in the night breeze. A cat crouches on the gate pier, an orange one, plump, its eyes half closed. As you pass, it opens its eyes and glances at you, then closes them again, its tail tip giving a lazy flick. You continue walking. The hutong turns a corner, and you see another hutong, and then another. Beijing's hutongs are like a net, over 700 of them crisscrossing, weaving this enormous city together. Every hutong has a name. Some are beautiful, like Deep Among 100 Flowers, Apricot Blossom Sky, Rouge Hutong. Some are humble, like Big Crooked Stick, Little Crooked Stick, Carrying Pole Hutong. Now all these hutongs are asleep in the night. Courtyards of gray brick and gray tile, one after another, eaves touching eaves, like a flock of gray pigeons huddled together in sleep. You reach the end of the hutong and look back. Moonlight pours down through the narrow gap of sky above the hutong, painting a silver line along the flagstone path. That line leads all the way back to where you came from, back to Zhengyang, back to Tiananmen, back to Jingshan, back through every inch of road you have traveled today. You have returned to your lodging, a small guest house tucked away in a hutong behind the drum tower. The room is on the second floor, its window facing the drum tower. You push open the window, and the night breeze rushes in, carrying the fragrance of locust blossoms. The drum tower stands right before you, just across a narrow hutong. It has stood here for over 700 years, older than the Forbidden City. In the Yuan dynasty, this was the center of timekeeping. Bronze clepsydras measured the water clock hours, one report every quarter. The bell tower's toll told the whole city that day had broken. The drum tower's beat told the whole city that night had fallen. Now, the bells and the drums no longer sound, but the city's breathing rhythm still carries the cadence of those 7 centuries. You turn off the light, the room sinks into darkness, but the outline of the drum tower outside the window grows clearer. Its deep red walls and gray-black triple-eave roof, standing in the deep blue night like a silent giant. An orange ground light shines up from below, staining the base of the drum tower a warm gold. The gray tile roofs of the Sihuan courtyards spread in overlapping layers toward the distance, with an occasional window still lit, like a star fallen to earth. In the distance comes the sound of a train whistle, very faint and far away, like a whale breathing at the other end of the city. The moon is a very slender crescent, hanging in the sky above the drum tower's flying eaves. The wind comes again, this time carrying the scent of earth from the distant outskirts, perhaps from the western hills, crossing the city walls, threading through the hutongs all the way to your window. Close your eyes. The road you traveled today, from Qianmen to Tiananmen, from the Hall of Supreme Harmony to the Gate of Divine Might, from the Wanchun Pavilion on Jingshan to the White Dagoba at Beihai, from the lights of Shichahai to the flagstones of Nanlugushang. They layer one upon another in your memory. Like the dynasties this city has stacked across 600 years. Beijing slowly falls asleep beyond you. And so do you. Good night. Last night, we walked through Zhengyang Gate into the heart of the imperial city and fell asleep under the moonlight of the drum tower. Tonight, we leave the imperial city behind and head north to feel 2,000 years of wind on the Great Wall, to watch Kunming Lake at the Summer Palace turn into a golden mirror, and to stand before the echo wall at the Temple of Heaven, listening to echoes returning from a world where heaven is round and earth is square. Now, close your eyes. Let your breath settle slowly, deeper. 6 in the morning. You are on a bus, heading to Bedtime. Outside the window, Beijing is still asleep. The street lamps are still on, their orange glow softening into the morning mist, as if seen through a layer of thin gauze. The bus passes Jingshan, the gate through which ancient soldiers once marched to war. Its arrow tower is now only a dark silhouette in the early light. Then the city begins to thin out. Tall buildings become low buildings. Low buildings become bungalows. Bungalows become fields. The roadside trees switch from locust to poplar, their leaves rustling in the morning wind, like countless green palms gently clapping. You lean against the window and watch the traces of the city peel away, layer by layer. Mist floats low over the fields like a white river. Mountains begin to appear in the distance. At first, just a blur, then a silhouette. Then you can see the trees on the ridges. And finally, even the texture of the rock becomes clear. The Jingshan range spreads out directly ahead. 1 layer of mountains, 2 layers, 3 layers. The nearest a bluish green, the next a grayish blue, the farthest a pale purple, dissolving into the sky, until you can no longer tell where the mountains end and the clouds begin. The bus stops in a mountain hollow. You step out, and the mountain air rushes toward you all at once, cool, carrying the scent of pine and earth, nothing like the air in the city. The cloud platform stands before you. It is a white stone terrace built during the Yuan dynasty, the base of a street-crossing pagoda at Zhengyang Pass. More than 600 years ago, this was the gateway through which Mongol cavalry rode south. Beyond Zhengyang Pass lay the grasslands. Inside Zhengyang Pass lay the central plains. The archway of the cloud platform is carved full of Buddhist reliefs. You walk closer and reach out to touch the lines carved into the stone. The four heavenly kings trampling demons underfoot, their eyes wide with fury. Mandala patterns, intricate and precise, like countless layers of petals folded into one another. The most remarkable thing is this. The walls of the archway are engraved with 6 scripts: Chinese, Sanskrit, Tibetan, Fags, Pa, Uyghur, and Tangut, all carving the same Buddhist sutra. 6 scripts like 6 parallel rivers, flowing quietly across the stone. Sunlight enters from one end of the archway and draws a long shaft of light through the passage. Dust drifts slowly inside it. You stand in the middle of the archway. On one side, the central plains within the pass. On the other, the northern frontier beyond. The wind passes through the archway and hums low, like an ancient animal breathing out. You walk through the cloud platform. Once beyond the pass, the mountains suddenly grow steep. The Jingshan range rises sharply on both sides of you. The rock is bluish-gray, cracked with deep fissures, and pines grow out of the cracks, their roots gripping the stone, their trunks bent sideways by the wind. The road follows the mountain's foot, winding forward like a gray snake. The Great Wall appears before you without any warning. One turn, and there it is, draped across the ridge opposite, a bluish-gray stone dragon, following the rise and fall of the ridge as it winds from one peak to the next, stretching all the way to the edge of sight, vanishing into the distant mountain haze. You stand at the foot of the mountain and look up at it. More than 2,000 years ago, when the first person laid the first stone here, he did not know he was building a wall as long as 10,000 li. You begin to climb. This section of the wall was rebuilt during the Ming dynasty. It was Qi Jiguang who led his soldiers here, dismantling the earthen walls left by the Yuan and replacing them with gray bricks and stone slabs. Each brick weighs over 10 kilograms, stamped with the year it was fired and the name of the kiln, 5th year of Wanli, made in Xuanhua Prefecture, made in Baoding Prefecture. You trace these characters with your fingertip. 400 years ago, when a craftsman pressed wet clay into the mold, did his handprint stay on this brick? The steps are steep. Some sections are almost vertical. Every step demands a high lift. You walk slowly, pausing every few steps to catch your breath. The mountain wind blows in through the crenellations, carrying the scent of pine resin, tousling your hair. The battlements look like a row of giant teeth biting into the ridge. You look out from between the crenellations. On the other side lies the frontier beyond the wall. Mountains push outward in layers toward the horizon. Dark cyan, grayish blue, pale purple, like a landscape painting left unfinished. fading with distance until the sky absorbs it all. You step into a watchtower. Watchtowers were observation posts along the wall, 2 or 3 stories high, built of gray brick, with arrow windows on every side. You look out through one of the arrow windows. The frame cuts the world outside into a small rectangle. Inside that rectangle is a mountain, mist wrapped around its waist, clouds drifting slowly across its peak, the shadows of the clouds sliding down the slope, like an enormous hand stroking the earth. You climb to the second floor. Suddenly, the view opens wide. Beneath your feet, the Great Wall stretches away to both east and west, eastward to Shanghai Pass, westward to Jiayu Pass, and in between, more than 6,000 kilometers of mountains, deserts, grasslands, and rivers. Standing here, you feel very small, as small as a grain of sand caught in the cracks between the bricks. Yet at the same time, you feel vast, because in this moment, every mountain you can see, every valley, every cloud drifting past is a place where someone once walked, someone once stood guard, someone once lit wolf smoke signals from a beacon tower. 2,000 years ago, a soldier stood exactly where you are standing now. He wore iron armor, held a spear in his hand, and looked out through the same arrow window. What he saw was not a view, it was the enemy. What he heard was not the wind, it was hoofbeats. And now, you stand here, hearing only the wind, seeing only the mountains. The dome of the watchtower was built with arched brick vaults, and from between the bricks seeps from us a faint scent of pine. From the pine wood beams, warmed by the summer sun, the air is very dry enough that your lips feel a little tight, but also very clean enough that you can pick out the mingled smells of mugwort, pine needles, and distant rain. You sit on the Great Wall for a long time. In the afternoon, the sun moves from overhead to the west, and the light shifts from white to gold. You stand up and begin the walk back, not forward, but retracing the path you took. Going down is easier than going up, but your knees have begun to tremble. With every step down, you are a little farther from the wall. You keep looking back. The wall is still there, still on the ridge, still in the sunlight, but smaller each time, farther each time. The last time you look back, it has become a thin line embedded in the ridge's silhouette, like an old scar. You stand at the foot of the mountain and gaze at it. It has stood here for 2,000 years. Every kind of sandstorm has blown across it. Every kind of war fire has burned upon it. Yet it remains. Not because it is solid. Even the hardest stone will erode, but because it is too long. So long that time itself does not know where to begin dismantling it. You board the bus again. When the engine starts, you sink back into your seat. Your body is tired, your legs are sore, the soles of your feet are warm. But this tiredness is a pleasant tiredness, like the feeling of lying on the sand after swimming all day. Outside the window, the mountains recede, the fields recede. Rows of poplars slide past the glass. You rest your head against the window, your eyes half closed. The glass is slightly cool. The low-frequency vibration of the engine rises through the window frame, like a cat purring beside your ear. You drift into a light sleep. When you wake, outside the window is Beijing again. You return from the Great Wall and go straight to the Summer Palace. It is already 4 in the afternoon. The sunlight slants in from the west and gilds everything with a faint golden wash. You enter through the East Palace Gate, and right inside, a vast expanse of water opens before you. Kunming Lake. Some say it was dug in imitation of West Lake in Hangzhou, but you have never seen West Lake. All you know is that it is enormous, so large it takes up 3/4 of the entire garden. So large you cannot see its full surface even when you turn your head a full 90 degrees. The lake water is silver gray in the afternoon light, smooth as a sheet of burnished tinfoil. At its center is a small island, and on the island stands a Dragon King temple. White walls and gray tiles, ringed by weeping willows. The island's reflection is printed on the water, perfectly symmetrical with the island above. You cannot tell which is real and which is reflection. Longevity Hill rises along the northern shore. It is not tall, but its shape is lovely, like the back of a wooden armchair, swelling in the middle and sloping down gently on both sides. The tower of Buddhist incense sits right at that swelling. 3 stories, octagonal, with a pointed spire. In the backlight of the afternoon, it becomes a dark silhouette, like a black jewel set into the mountain. By the lake, weeping willows trail their branches into the water. The tips of the willow leaves brush the surface and draw tiny rings of ripples. You walk slowly along the shore. Beneath your feet, the long corridor stretches away to your right. 728 meters of covered walkway, every crossbeam painted with colored pictures. You stop to look at one of them, a scene from Journey to the West. Sun Wukong stealing peaches from the immortal peach garden. The colors are still vivid, but the brushstrokes have softened, blurred by more than 100 years of wind and the damp mist rising from the lake. You step into the long corridor, 728 meters, the longest covered gallery in the world. It runs from the inviting moon gate in the east, all the way to the stone elder pavilion in the west. Passing through the cloud-dispelling gate, the cloud-dispelling hall, and the tower of Buddhist incense along the way. Like a ribbon of colored silk tied around the waist of Longevity Hill. The pillars are green, the railings are green, the crossbeams are green, but the band of Suzhou-style paintings above the beams contains more than 14,000 individual pictures. Everyone is different. Some are landscapes, distant mountains, a solitary boat, a waterfall, painted in the blue and green landscape style, every brushstroke of the mountain textures still clearly visible. Some are flowers and birds, peonies, lotuses, cranes, mandarin ducks, the colors so vivid they seem about to dissolve off the wood. Some are figures. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Water Margin, Journey to the West, Dream of the Red Chamber. Every classic scene pinned into the wood by a painter's brush. You walk very, very slowly through the corridor. The gray brick floor beneath your feet has been polished smooth by countless shoes, now reflecting the painted ceiling above. Tiny patches of red and green, like spilled pigment on water. Sunlight slants in between the pillars and paints parallel bars of light across the gray bricks. Your shadow passes through these bars, now in light, now in shadow. The lake breeze enters through the open sides, carrying the cool dampness of the water. In the corridor, a few old men are playing chess. The sound of pieces landing on the board is crisp and clear. A single tap every 10 or 15 seconds. As you walk past them, one of them lifts his head and glances at you. He says nothing, just gives the faintest nod, then lowers his eyes back to the game. In this moment, you feel you are not a visitor. You are part of this afternoon, placed here quietly, together with the long corridor, with the lake breeze, with the old man playing chess inside this garden that has stood for more than 200 years. You turn off from the middle of the long corridor and begin climbing Longevity Hill. The Tower of Buddhist Incense is directly above you. 3 stories, 8 sides, 4 layers of eaves, a pointed spire, yellow glazed tiles with green trim. Looking up from the foot of the hill, it seems to float in mid-air, held up by tier after tier of stone steps. Higher and higher, lighter and lighter, until the golden tip of the spire seems about to pierce the sky. You begin to climb the steps. The steps are wide, the landings large, clearly built for an empress dowager and emperor. A place to climb a few steps and pause, climb a few steps and turn to admire the lake. Every few steps, you look back. Kunming Lake grows smaller each time, the island at its center farther each time. The long corridor reduced to a colored thread tied around the hillside. You reach the Tower of Buddhist Incense. Standing at the railing, facing south, the entire summer palace lies at your feet. Kunming Lake spreads out, its surface tinted copper by the low western sun. The West Causeway cuts across the lake like an emerald line, dividing the water in two. Zhengyang Lake to the west, South Lake to the east. The 17-arch bridge stretches like a white jade belt between South Lake and the central island. Farther away, the outline of Jade Spring Mountain hovers faintly at the horizon, and the Jade Peak Pagoda on its summit is a tiny silhouette too. And farther still, the western hills trace a gentle curve across the skyline. The sun hanging just above that line, burning the whole sky to tangerine. You lean on the railing. The wind comes, strong but gentle. The kind of wind that blows down from a mountaintop, carrying the smell of pine and dry grass, making your clothes snap softly. You stand on the summit for a long time, long enough for the sun to slip past the ridge of the western hills, for the sky to turn from tangerine to deep purple, and from deep purple to ink blue. The reflection on Kunming Lake shifts from gold to silver, from silver to dark, and finally, it merges with the sky. You can no longer tell where the heavens end and the water begins. By the time you descend the hill, the sky has already dimmed. But you do not hurry to leave. You circle around to the side of South Lake Island and stand at the western end of the 17-arch bridge. The bridge is 150 meters long, its 17 arches arranged from largest to smallest, the highest at the center, and the curves diminishing toward both ends, forming a graceful arc, like a rainbow of stone. But you are not standing here because the bridge is beautiful. You are standing here because you have heard a legend. Every year around the winter solstice, at dusk, the setting sun aligns perfectly with the bridge arches. The golden light of the setting sun passes through all 17 arches and turns every one of them a glowing reddish gold. That moment is called the golden light through the arches. It is not winter solstice today, and you do not know if you will see it, but you decide to wait. You lean against a stone lion at the head of the bridge. This lion has been crouching here for over 240 years. Its face has been worn somewhat smooth by wind and rain, but its eyes are still clear. A pair of quiet eyes gazing at the lake. The sun sinks inch by inch. You watch it. It settles perfectly into the center of one arch. One arch lights up. Not all 17, only the one in the very middle, and from its round archway the light pours out warm and golden orange, as if someone has lit a lamp inside the bridge. Then a second beam of light appears, passing through the next arch. A third, 7 or 8 arches light up in all, golden shafts of light, cutting through the arches and falling onto the lake, drawing bright golden ribbons across the dark blue water. It is not the full winter solstice version, but it is already more than enough for you. This bridge has stood here over 200 years, watching hundreds of winter solstice sunsets. You are only one passerby in its many dusks. It will not remember you, but you will remember it. On the morning of the third day, you walk into the temple of heaven. If time had allowed, you should have come in the afternoon. The afternoons at the temple of heaven are quiet, and the light in the ancient cypress grove is at its most beautiful. But your train is in the afternoon, and this morning is all you have. In the early hours, the temple of heaven is still wrapped in mist. Entering through the south gate, a long sacred way leads straight toward the hall of prayer for good harvests. 360 meters long, 30 meters wide, raised 4 meters above the ground, flanked on both sides by 600-year-old cypress trees. The cypresses are very, very old. Their trunks are as thick as water vats. Their bark cracked into scales, their branches twisting toward the sky, standing in the mist like a gathering of silent giants. You walk along the sacred way. The stone slabs beneath your feet are slick with dew, reflecting the sky above. Pale fragments of blue, snipped apart by the cypress branches. The morning mist gathers into a white glow at the end of the sacred way. Walking through the mist, you feel as if you are not walking toward a building, but toward a dream growing out of the fog. Then the mist lifts. The hall of prayer for good harvests appears before you. 3 tiers of eaves. The top deep blue, the middle blue, the bottom pale blue. The color of the 3 tiers of glazed tiles is the gradient of the sky at dusk, from overhead down to the horizon. The eaves are round, the hall itself is round, heaven is round, and earth is square. And this is a place for worshipping heaven, so everything must be round. 28 pillars of golden enamel wood hold up the entire hall, 12 in the outer ring for the 12 hours of the day, 12 in the middle ring for the 12 months of the year, 4 enormous central pillars reaching to the ceiling for the 4 seasons. Not a single nail. Every piece of wood is joined by mortise and tenon. You stand outside the hall for a long time without entering. What you look at are the glazed tiles. Every tile catches the morning light and glows with a soft blue, as if a piece of the sky has been fired into the glaze. Leaving the hall of prayer for good harvests, you walk to the imperial vault of heaven. Here stands a circular wall, the echo wall. The wall is built of bricks ground and fitted so precisely that the surface is as smooth as a curved mirror. They say, if you press close to the wall and speak softly, your voice will travel along the arc and be heard clearly on the opposite side. You walk up to the wall and press your ear against it. The wall is very cool, damp with dew. You close your eyes. There is no one around. it is very quiet. You whisper something, not to anyone in particular, just something you want to say. The sound leaves your lips and glides along the curve. You can feel it traveling on the wall, a soft rustling, like a tiny hand stroking the smooth brick. Then it returns. Your voice has completed the circle and fallen gently back against your ear. It has changed. It no longer sounds like the voice you sent out, softer, farther away, as if it has walked a very, very long path inside the wall. A thought occurs to you. In 600 years, how many people have spoken against this wall? When the emperor came to worship heaven, perhaps a eunuch pressed close and whispered a prayer for the next year's harvest. Perhaps a consort spoke words she could tell no one else. Perhaps an old soldier on night watch hummed a tune from his hometown. All these voices, this circular wall has remembered. They have settled into the cracks between the bricks, into the dust of the ground stone, into every layer of lime and glutinous rice paste. The words you speak now, they will be remembered too. You straighten up and let your fingers trail across the wall. The surface is very smooth, so smooth it feels less like brick and more like porcelain. The wind blows in from the ancient cypress grove, and the cypress leaves rustle like faint applause. Standing before the echo wall, it occurs to you that this structure was not built for speaking to someone far away. It was built for speaking to yourself. The words you send out travel the circle and return to your own ear. They are no longer the same words. They have become something different, like a gentler version of yourself, answering you. You exit through the last gate of the Temple of Heaven and step into the circular Mount Altar. This is the core of heaven worship. 3 tiers of white marble, open to the sky, with no roof. The sky above is the roof. Each tier has 9 steps. On the lowest tier, the platform is divided into 9 sectors, and each sector is inlaid with 9 stone slabs. On the middle tier, each sector holds 18 slabs, 2 nines. On the highest tier, each sector holds 27 slabs, 3 nines. 9 is the ultimate yang number, the number of heaven. You climb the steps. The higher you go, the larger the sky becomes. When you reach the top tier, the entire dome of heaven is cupped above your head, pale blue, boundless, like a vast upturned bowl. The white marble balustrades glow a soft warm white in the morning light. You look up at the sky, down at the stone, and feel yourself held between heaven and stone. The sky is round, the altar is round, and you are the center of the circle. In the exact center of the platform is a circular stone slab, the Heaven's Heart Stone. They say if you stand on the Heaven's Heart Stone and speak, the surrounding balustrades will reflect your voice back to you, creating a strange resonance. You step onto it. There is no one around. You speak a few words, softly. The sound does change. It becomes fuller, rounder, as if wrapped in layers of white marble and sent back to you, like a very gentle embrace. You stand on the Heaven's Heart Stone for a while. The sky above you is moving. Clouds drift slowly from west to east, their shapes shifting, but so slowly that you cannot notice unless you stare. The ancient cypress grove surrounds you on all sides. The sound of wind passing through the cypresses comes from every direction of the Temple of Heaven. You feel as if this circular platform is an enormous palm, lifting you into mid-air, very close to heaven, very far from earth. Leaving the eastern part of the city, you dug into the hutongs of the north. Not Nanlugoxiang. That alley is too famous, too crowded with visitors. You choose a hutong with no name, or one with a name you do not know. There are too many hutongs in Beijing, over 700, and every one of them looks similar. Gray brick walls, gray tile roofs, old locust trees, gate piers, stone guardian tablets, but everyone is also different. Some a bit wider, some a bit narrower, some with more turns, some quieter. You step into one of them. This hutong is very narrow, so narrow that two people walking side by side would feel squeezed. On top of the walls on both sides, foxtail grass sways in the breeze. Moss grows in the wall cracks. Green, soft, damp. When you press a finger against it, you pass a gate. The door is made of wood, painted vermilion red, but faded so badly that the grain of the wood beneath is showing through. The door knocker is bronze, a lion's head gripping a ring in its mouth. The lion's face coated with a thin layer of green patina. The couplets on either side of the door are still faintly legible. With loyalty and integrity, the family endures. With poetry and books, the line goes on. You stand at the gate and imagine the person who lives here. Perhaps an old man who carries out a wicker chair every morning and sits in the sun by the door. Perhaps a young couple who push their bicycles through this narrow alley every evening on their way home. Perhaps a child who lies across the stone table in the courtyard after school doing homework, with a pomegranate tree shielding him from the sun. You walk on. The hutong bends around a corner. At the bend stands a locust tree, its trunk so thick it would take 3 children to wrap their arms around it. Its canopy covers the whole corner. You stand in its shade and look up. Sunlight drips through the gaps in the leaves, one drop at a time, falling onto the flagstones, falling onto your shoulders. The whole hutong is very quiet, so quiet you can hear the sound of a leaf landing on the ground. Deep in the hutong, you discover a tea house. It has no sign, just a wooden table set outside the door, and on the table, a ceramic tea tray with a few white porcelainoid cups turned upside down. Beneath the door lintel hangs a cloth curtain, blue with a single white character on it, the character for tea. You lift the curtain and step inside. The courtyard is very small, barely a dozen square meters. The ground is paved with gray bricks, fine moss growing in the cracks. An old locust tree grows straight up from the center of the courtyard, its canopy covering the whole space. Beneath the tree are a few low tables and rattan chairs which creak when you sit down. The owner is an old man in his 60s wearing a faded blue mouse suit, fanning a stove with a large palm leaf fan. He sees you come in and smiles. "Have a seat," he says. You order a bowl of strong tea. He tosses a pinch of tea leaves into a white porcelain-lidded cup, lifts the copper kettle. Boiling water rushes in. The leaves tumble once, then slowly unfurl into whole shapes. The scent of jasmine rises from the rim of the cup, light and delicate, mingling with the leafy fragrance of the old locust tree. You lift the cup and use the lid to gently push aside the floating leaves. The tea is pale gold, very hot. You blow on it and take a sip. It is nothing precious, just the rough, broken tea that Beijingers have been drinking for ages, the cheap kind, strong and lasting. But here, in this courtyard, beneath this old locust tree, it is better than any tea you have ever had. An orange cat jumps down from the rooftop and lands with a soft thud on the chair beside you. It looks at you, then curls into a ball, tucks its tail over its nose, and closes its eyes. You sip your tea, listening to the water gurgle in the kettle, listening to the old locust leaves rustle in the breeze, listening to the distant ring of a bicycle bell from somewhere in the hutong. You feel this afternoon could go on like this forever and never end. When you step out of the tea house, the sky has already gone dark. It is time to go. Your train is in the evening. You find yourself back at Beijing railway station. It was here, 3 mornings ago at first light, that you first walked into this city. The station is as quiet now as it was that morning. The clock tower still stands there, its hour hand having moved from 6 to 11. The square's paving stones still gleam, reflecting the yellow glow of the street lamps. You stand in the middle of the square, just as you did on that first morning, and turn in a slow circle. You see the arrow tower of Zhengyang Gate. In the night, the bricks are dark gray, and a faint light seeps from the arrow windows, like the half-open eyes of a sleeping giant. You see the gate tower of Tiananmen in the distance. Its vermilion has become dark red. Its gold has become warm yellow, glowing softly in the night, like a lantern floating in mid-air. You see Jingshan. The light in the Wenchun pavilion on the hilltop is like a tiny star pinned to the highest point of the central axis. You see the drum tower, the place where you slept last night. Its orange ground light is still on, painting the base of the tower a warm gold. You see the Great Wall. Not really, it is too far away. But you know it is still up there on the northern ridges, gleaming cold under the moonlight. You also see Kunming Lake at the Summer Palace. Not really either, but you know, the water is still there, still holding the reflection of Longevity Hill, and the arches of the 17-arch bridge still carry the lingering warmth of dusk. You see the echo wall at the Temple of Heaven. You know the voice you left on that wall is still traveling along the arc, round and round, round and round, and you do not know when it will stop. You see that nameless hutong, that old locust tree, that orange cat, that bowl of rough tea. They are all still there, but you are already at the station. The city of Beijing is closing its gates behind you, slowly. Not real gates, but the distance growing between you. The station announcement comes on. Your train is now boarding. You pick up your bag and walk toward the entrance. After a few steps, you stop and look back. The clock tower in the moonlight. The street lamp swaying slightly in the breeze. The square empty. You cannot say goodbye, because you know you will come back. Not in this life, but on some other night, in a dream. You will stand in this square again, smelling the mingled scent of coal smoke and water vapor, hearing the clatter of train wheels slowing on the tracks, just like tonight, just like everyone who has ever come to Beijing. Good night, Beijing. Good night.